Get on to www.involve.in. The search string Newshour. Join the debate on the hashtag CAF Smashes Park. You can ask your questions and we'll put those questions out to our panelists tonight. We have people joining us from Pakistan too. Kamar Cheema, Group Captain Sultan Ali, Brigadier Javed Hussain joins us. Zafar Sareshwala, RSN Singh and Consulting Editor Maruf Raza also live with us this evening. Virender Sehwag said, Kutta palo, billi palo, galat fahmi mat palo. When we decided to do this debate at 10 p.m. tonight, we got down to do some research. And as we saw the research, sir, we realized, sir, इन्होंने तो बहुत सारी गलतियां गलत फहमियां पाल रखी हैं. बहुत सारी गलत फहमियां पाल रखी हैं. And so much so they believe all this falsitude to be such truth that they are peddling it even in their textbooks. And it is their own media that has exposed it. We'll talk about all of that. And that's why it all comes around this whole sentiment where Pakistan does not speak for Indian Muslims. India knows Islam. India loves Islam. India allows Islam to be propagated and to grow far more than any other Islamic nation. It was in India that in 629, Islam arrived first. And that too, it still remains an integral part of our country, in Kerala, in Thrissur. So to these people to come out and say that if you stand up for India, you cease to be a Muslim, Muhammad Kaif gave a very apt reply. Nobody is the thekedar of any religion. No name is copyrighted by thekedars. India is by far the most inclusive and tolerant country. Sir, this is a sentiment. This is a sentiment which India wants Pakistan to know and to hear. And I'm saying it so proudly that Indians want Pakistanis to know that your idea is different. Our idea is different. Our idea is of India, of a secular, sovereign, democratic republic that is inclusive and tolerant, not intolerant like across the border. Maruf Raza, open the debate, sir.
Well, Anand, you see, I'm not surprised by some of the sentiments expressed by people on social media against Muhammad Kaif. In fact, I've been at the receiving end of such banter, both on social media and on television debates.
Even on the Newshour, sir, one of those panelists, one of the panelists from Pakistan said something to you the other day. I remember.
Yeah, well, I don't want to bring personal names into it, but you know, we must understand the larger context in which where this sentiment comes from. Firstly, the founding fathers of modern India made it very clear that religion is important, but religion is not going to be our defining feature. Therefore, the idea of India is larger than one central religion, but a collective group of religions, ethnic identities, cultures, etc. But more importantly, if you see correspondingly what happened in Pakistan when it was created, you know, there were initially debates in Pakistan whether Pakistan would be a fully Islamic-centric state or would it be accommodative of others. Mr. Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, eminent jurist in his own right, did make some remarks to that effect, but I believe those remarks are now being disowned by some people because he said that in Pakistan we'll have space for every religion and community. Sadly, Mr. Jinnah's distinguished lady wife, Mrs. Jinnah, who comes from the Parsi community, I recently read an article to say that the Parsis have been struck off from the census lists in Pakistan, so nobody knows that there's something called a Parsi community. So it is all being driven into a one religion, one ethnic centric approach, which is sad because Pakistan has a multicultural facet to it which it could exploit. But more importantly, I think what we need to also address is the fact that Pakistan is not the repository of all Muslim goodwill in the world. Those who chose to go to Pakistan were a handful of people. Many others who went there, unfortunately, were disappointed because then they were termed as muhajirs. Only Punjabi Indians who went there were not called muhajirs. Others who went from UP and elsewhere, which were where the momentum took place for the founding of Pakistan, ended up being marginalized there. So they've ended up in Dubai, Karachi, London, wherever, because they are not part of the mainstream. You have the odd case like General Musharraf, who rose to the top being a muhajir, but not too many. Now, the second thing which we must understand is that Pakistan's obsession with trying to look at itself only as repository of all things that stand for Islam is becoming a baggage for Pakistanis. Ask the Pakistanis how welcome they are in any world forum or any gathering. Today it is a liability to be called a Pakistani. Look at India correspondingly. Everybody wants to engage with India. India is perhaps, in the words of Tariq Fateh, who is persona non grata in Pakistan, India is perhaps the best country for Muslims to live in. I second that many times over.
Yes.
Because you are allowed religious freedom, your progress is not hampered, you are given congratulations and adulation wherever you do well. I don't see what is the problem if an Indian Muslim stands up for India.
Yes.
Because for me, the idea of India is bigger than me standing up and saying I am a Muslim. That is a personal affair. For me, my nation comes first. My religion is a very personal thing. The day Pakistanis understand that, then they will abandon the abject anti-Indianism, which is the only bonding adhesive for Pakistan.
So let's
Even
take that
religion
across
doesn't
to-
keep it together.
Maruf,
What keeps
let's
it
take that
together
across as we
is
try and
hatred
fix
for
it,
India.
our
And every
feed
time
with
you
you.
have an incident like this, it comes out in the personal forum.
Yes, Maruf, as we try and fix our feed with you, we're getting a bit of a video glitch there, so we'll try and fix that. But thank you for that great opening to this debate and a point well made, exactly echoing the sentiment of Mohammad Kaif as well. That for him, India comes first, the nation comes first, and nobody is a takedar of any religion. And especially Pakistan, not of Islam. Now that's the message that's come across. Kamar Chima, why does that make you guys so uncomfortable? Why do you get so uncomfortable when Mohammad Kaif stands up and welcomes the judgment of International Court of Justice and stands with India?
Well, I think there's nothing to be uncomfortable in it. India is a sovereign country, and Mohammad Kaif is a citizen of India. He carries Indian passport, he carries Indian citizenship. So if he carries Indian citizenship and he's Indian citizen, then what is the point to talk on it? I think he has done what an Indian should do. And if he is talking about for India, then I think he's doing his duty. All the Indians sitting in India, they should be proud.
So what would you like to say, tell those Pakistanis who say he should drop the name Mohammed because he stood for his country, sir?
Well, let me tell you, wherever there is a hate, whoever is doing injustice, I think a Pakistani who says that he does not have the right to say this. There are more than 200 million people, Indian citizens who are Muslims. They have every right to express their opinion. And don't tell this. One citizen if from Pakistan says such kind of opinion, that doesn't mean 200 million Pakistanis have this perspective. We have millions of Indians who have this hate perspective that comes
Sir,
from
my
India
point is,
for Pakistan.
Sir,
But
if it was only one Pakistani, there would not have been this debate on the Newshour tonight, Kamar Chima. And that's the point. Because this is what a class 5 book says. The class 5 book comes out and says, the original discovery about Hindu helped to bring British rule to India, RSNC. This is what they are taught. The British had the objective to take over India, and to achieve this, they made Hindus join them, and Hindus were very glad to join the British side. After capturing the subcontinent, the British began on the one hand loot of all things produced in this area, on the other hand in conjunction with the Hindus to greatly suppress the Muslims, sowing the seeds of hate against Hindus. In their class, this is how history is being taught, sir. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, students of class 3 are being taught that Hindus wanted to make Muslims their slaves and he hated slavery, so he left the Congress. The Congress was actually a party of Hindus. Muslims felt that after getting freedom, Hindus would make them their slaves. Chintamani Thakur, one of our viewers, is joining us saying nation is above religion. Virendra Chauhan says India has more Muslims than Pakistan and they are much more happy than Pakistan because they chose India, sir. RSN Singh. More of our viewers are joining us on the Newshour tonight. And look at their points of view. Muhammad Amir says, I mean, so much pride in listening to Maruf Raza as an Indian Muslim, he says.
Anand, if the Pakistanis have proper perspective of history, I would tell them that, it was Raja Dahir of Sindh who provided protection to Prophet Muhammad's family. and Muhammad bin Qasim had come here not to spread Islam in the first place. He wanted to kill the members of Prophet Muhammad families. I would also like the Pakistanis to know that do they know anything about Shia Brahmins, the Dutts? There was one Rihab Dutt who fought on behalf of the Muslim, of Ali, Hussein in the battle of Karbala, and till today they have their taziyah in Delhi. Please find out, So whenever civilization has been in contest with faith, invariably faith, religious faith has proved to be a very weak opponent. And Pakistan did not realize this even after losing East Pakistan. And they think that every Muslim in the subcontinent is a part of Islamic Caliphate. Now I'll tell you, I mean, they're the champions of Urdu language, let East Pakistan go on the basis of language. Let me tell you, a very famous Urdu poet here, Josh Malahabadi, a big shair, he went to Pakistan and lamented all his life. What happened to the Qawwal tradition? Where are Sabri brothers? Ask this Pakistani panelist.
Okay.
Recently, one great sitar player in a very late age who had migrated to Pakistan, Rais Khan. Today I read just 3-4 days back, I read all the newspapers. There was hardly any reference to this man. You have killed music, you have killed Urdu, you have killed poetry, and for 70 years, for God's sake, after having created a so-called homeland for Muslims, you are still debating कि साला कौन सही मुसलमान है और कौन नहीं है. अहमदिया मुसलमान नहीं है, शिया मुसलमान नहीं है, हजारा मुसलमान नहीं है, और उसके बाद आप दूसरों को इस्लामियत सिखा रहे हो. अरे इस मिट्टी ने let him answer.
Let him answer. What happened to the Sabri brothers? Group Captain Sultan Ali.
Today there is not one. There is one Sarangi player left in Pakistan. Do you know that there are no negligible women or no women, even wearing sarees in Pakistan? अरे इन्होंने अपने जो पूर्वजों का नहीं होगा वो क्या अपने धर्म का क्या होगा यार?
It's not that, sir. It's not that. It's just, so the whole idea is.
Yeah, it is that.
Sir,
it is that. That is why. That is why
that is one aspect.
That is why they have said कि ये कैप अपने.
That is one aspect. I'm not.
मोहम्मद क्यों लगा रहा है? इनको ये नहीं समझ में आता है कि नेशन स्टेट भी कोई चीज होती है और उसके भी.
So the point is, if we ask an Indian today, nation first or religion, they'll say nation first. That's how we are brought up. We are taught to put the idea of India above everything else, like Maruf Raza in his opening remarks said.
Absolutely.
But the other side there, sir, in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, when you ask them Pakistan first or Islam, they'll say Islam. But what Islam is this?
Bhaiya, they are Indian.
That is the point. And today, sir, as I'm reading the text and I'm reading the kind of language that is used, sir, on the Newshour here today, sir, on the Newshour, not today, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, whenever we have these debates, there are people who have called Indian Muslims names. There are people who have come across from Pakistan and have said, Khuda ka khauf karo, when they defend India. And that is what was expressed in these trolls. That's the reason why I'm here debating this tonight. Group Captain Sultan Ali. Sir, I am looking at the text. Sir, there is more, sir. Abhi to sir, बहुत सारा है, sir. The kind of stuff that I have read, that our research team has pulled out is shocking, sir. Is shocking. But let Group Captain Sultan Ali make his point, and then we'll go to Zafar Sareshwala and bring in Brigadier Javed Hussain also. Yes, Group Captain. You do not speak for Indian Muslims, sir.
No.
That's the point of view.
We don't need to speak for Indian Muslims. The Indian Muslims have a voice and they can express it well, and they are welcome to do so. But talking about Pakistan and assuming that we Pakistanis say that Islam first and Pakistan second, I don't think that is true. If there are a handful of people who say so, I'm sorry for them. Majority of us believe that Pakistan comes first. Our country comes first. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, our founder, said it very clearly in his 11th August speech in the Constituent Assembly.
Group Captain Sultan Ali, if that
Please
is
allow
your
me
view.
to complete. Please allow me to complete before you interject. Please allow me to complete before you interject.
Sure.
You gave everybody a fair chance.
Sure, go ahead,
I haven't spoken for even a minute as yet.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you that on the 11th of August 1947, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah said very clearly that religion is a personal matter. It has nothing to do with the state. And all the religions and all the sects, they are welcome to be in Pakistan and practice their religion freely. If some people have curbed these rights, I condemn that. But let me tell you that in the heart of heart, we Pakistanis believe that our nation comes first and religion comes second.
So it's very nice to hear you say that, but what we see most of the time, he is still backing the whole two-nation theory, the one about separating the Hindus from the Muslims and the Islamic Republic of Pakistan just being a country for that. Now, if that is your view, then I want to ask you, what do you have to say for Shoaib Malik, who was the cricket team captain in 2007, and after losing the match to India, he offered an apology to the Muslims of the world? What does that mean? Well, what would you say to the comment like that and a mindset like that? Because to me, it comes across an extremely narrow mindset where you believe that you are literally the torch bearers and the flag bearers of all Muslims in the world, and because you couldn't beat India, you must apologize to Muslims in the world.
Well, that is his personal comment, and I would not like to touch upon that. But let me assure you that we are not the flag bearers of Islam anywhere in the world. Yes, our heart aches whenever Muslims they suffer, but that does not mean that we are the champions of every Islamic cause.
Who are Muslims?
We are the champions of only Pakistani.
So who are Muslims for you, sir? Sunni Muslims from Punjab?
Yeah, now you're being decisive. Muslims
No,
are
sir,
anybody who says the kalima,
nice to say,
whether they are Sunnis, whether they are Shias,
do you know the country?
They are all
Sir,
Muslims.
you are the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. I respect you for that. You are proud to be a Pakistani. I salute you for that. Just like we are all proud to be Indians as well as the Indian panelists. But the fact is, sir, do you know the country where all the 72 sects of Islam thrive? Group Captain Sultan Ali. Do you know the country where? Sir, do you know the country where Shias, Hazaras, Ahmadiyas, Ismailis are facing an existential threat? Zafar Sareshwala, the answer to the first question is India. The answer to the second question is the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
That is not true, please.
Okay, sir.
Anand, can I come in?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, Zafar Sareshwala. Sir, in our country, Zafar Sareshwala, let me ask you this. Sir, sorry, allow me this.
Only has...
Zafar bhai, one sec. I just want to ask you this. Do we have in our country that Ahmadiyas will be sentenced to 3 years in prison if they refer to themselves as Muslims, or they call their places of worship as mosques? Hindustan mein hai sir aisa?
No, in India...
ऐसा नहीं है ना सर?
India we don't have anything of that sort.
Sir, हम
but I have a larger context.
Sir, but Pakistan में rule है sir. Pakistan में law है which was enacted under General Ziaul Haq.
Now I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what. What is Pakistan? You know, Pakistan only is in name that Islamic Republic of Pakistan. They have systematically destroyed every single edifice of Islam. The Pakistan establishment, Anand, cannot tolerate a beard. They cannot tolerate the attire of the Prophet. Pakistani establishment for 70 years has only used and abused Islam. You go and see the founder of Pakistan, the Honorable Jinnah Sahab. Did he have anything to do with Islam? I mean, your father of nation did not even know how to pray namaz. I mean, what Islam are you talking about? You know, Anand, they could not tolerate a president, Rafiq Tarar, who was a man with beard and wearing a sherwani and a topi. They could not tolerate that.
That was when, sir?
The Pakistani establishment
when was
does
that?
not
When was-
tolerate anybody who's religious.
No, when was that, Zafar bhai? Because abhi
They
to Hafiz Saeed ko bahut bardaasht
they
karte
only
hain.
use Islam.
Sir,
they
ab to-
only use Islam.
Sir, अब तो हाफिज सईद को
for
बहुत
their
बर्दाश्त
political
करते हैं,
patronage.
लखवी सलाउद्दीन को बर्दाश्त करते हैं. So I don't know, sir. I don't know.
नहीं, वो उनको इस्तेमाल करते हैं अपने मफाद के लिए. ये सिर्फ इस्लाम को, ये सिर्फ इस्लाम के नाम को इस्तेमाल करते हैं अपने पॉलिटिकल उसको बढ़ाने के लिए. बाकी इस्लाम की हर चीज से इनको दुश्मनी है. आप मुझे आज तक बता दो कि कोई दाढ़ी वाला इनको बर्दाश्त है इनकी आर्मी में? आज तक इनकी आर्मी के अंदर कोई इनको पसंद ही नहीं है. इस्लामी लिबास से इनको नफरत, इनको सिर्फ इस्लाम नाम इस्तेमाल करना है अपने मफाद को पूरा करने के लिए.
Serious charge that's
I
been
think
made,
this is
Brigadier
out of
Javed Hussain.
proportion what he is talking.
इसलिए
This is not
पाकिस्तान
what
की
is the
गेम जो है,
reality.
it is
There are
open in
many
the world.
army
They
officials
only
who have
used
built
and abused
Pakistan
Islam
in the armed
for their own
forces.
benefit,
So I think
nothing else.
This is not the perspective.
Kamar
This is completely
Chima,
untrue.
I will
If
allow
do
you your
not
rebuttal,
know-
sir. Sir,
I think-
please let me bring in Brigadier
I
Javed
think
Hussain. He's
you
not
should- you should
spoken.
know the reality.
We've had an open debate. We are having a debate today. I don't want to fight, sir. I don't want to fight because this is a serious debate. Even though it's been picked up because of a few people trolling Mohammad Kaif, it's a serious issue, sir. So Brigadier Javed Hussain, please respond. Your comments, sir, your thoughts, and then I'll come back. Kamar Chima, I'll come back to you after that, sir.
See, I'm really shocked at the level of discourse that is taking place. I mean, you should have found something, which tests the intellect of the people, rather than making it a Hindu and Muslim problem.
Were you shocked, sir? Were you
We
shocked?
were last
Brigadier
night.
Javed Hussain, were you shocked
Abbas.
when trolls sitting in your country and people
आप बात
sitting in
नहीं
your
करने
country
देंगी मुझे.
lashed out at an Indian cricketer
me finish. Please
for
don't
signing
interrupt.
with his country? Were you shocked at the discourse
All right,
then?
go ahead.
At the discourse
Don't
of the
ask me any
tweets then,
questions.
Brigadier Javed Hussain? No, before you pass a judgment on us, my question to you, were you shocked at the
Why
discourse? Then
have
perhaps
you
then we
interrupted
can just
me?
take the conversation forward. Just trying to understand here.
Well, let me tell you about the Indian Muslims. Let me tell you about the Indian Muslims. Some years ago, I was in India. I was visiting India to attend a wedding in Noida. And I came across a large number of educated Muslims, university professors and vice chancellors and so on. And you know what they told me? They said that the Muslims of India are going to meet the same fate as the Muslims of Spain. Now this is coming from the elite, the Muslim elite. So let's not talk of Hindu and Muslim and
What a joke.
India and Pakistan.
What a joke.
Sir, suniye to say, sir.
Let's talk something else.
Let's hear the
Talk
brigadier.
about
Let's hear the brigadier out.
Hussain
Let's hear the
Mubarak
brigadier out.
Patel.
Because
Let's talk about Hussain Mubarak Patel. Let's not talk of Hindu, Muslim, and this
Sir,
has got
देखिए,
nothing to do
the
with
point
neither
is,
Pakistan nor
point is,
India
Brigadier
to talk
Hussain,
about
whether you
Hindu,
call him
Muslim,
Hussain
and religion
Mubarak
and so on.
Patel or you call him Kulbhushan Jadhav, he remains an Indian. Nothing changes for us. He still remains an Indian for us.
Yes, an Indian.
Well,
And I can tell you a lot of
and
things.
I would like you to
just
introduce us to
answer my
those
question.
Indians. Those Indians who you met in Noida, sir.
There you go again.
Because I am speaking. I am
you
speaking.
go again.
You have Indian Muslims who are watching this debate. Your Indian Muslims who are part of this debate,
I
and they
feel
will
sorry
answer
for
you,
the
sir.
Indian Muslims.
Maruf Raza.
Extremely sorry
Let's
for
come
them.
back. Let's come back.
Maruf Raza,
Very good.
Mohammad Kaif.
May I, Anand,
really
may
feel
I?
sorry for them. They have no choice.
They have no
They have to
choice.
say what they
See exactly why Brigadier Javed Hussain, I began by asking
Arre,
you.
sir.
I began by asking
Arre,
you.
sir,
First you tell me what you think
Anand,
about
just
those
let me
people
get back.
from
In
fact, we had a
Pakistan. You
choice.
are telling Mohammad Kaif to
Anand.
drop his name. To drop Mohammed from his name because he stands
Let
with
me
India.
get back.
That's exactly what I asked you and you did
Anand,
not want
may
to
I-
answer that.
may I?
Because it would expose the reality. Maruf, please go
2,000
ahead, yes.
Muslims who were slaughtered in Gujarat. And the
May I?
mastermind of that
May I please?
is the biggest
You are doing
terrorist.
your own every single day, sir.
And now
What are
the
you
Prime
saying?
Minister
Maruf
of
Raza,
India.
Please go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Correct.
Muslims.
Correct.
Muslims of India
you
don't
made a
have
very
any.
particular
May I-
charge,
Let-
let
let-
Maruf
suffering
respond.
like all the others in India.
Anand, I've heard
They are
the
suffering from
brigadier's tirade.
paranoid fear of
देख
Pakistan.
Anand.
रहे हैं आप सर मारूफ रजा ये देख रहे हैं आप दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग आउट this is the this is
I've
being
heard
taught
the
from
brigadier's
class 3
tirade.
onwards sir standard 3
Anand.
onwards this misconception this perception
What
so
is
that's
it
what
that you want to
that's what
prove?
अरे ब्रिगेडियर साहब रुक जाइए आपने उगल दिया
You have
जितना
found
जहर
a
उगलना
better
है
topic.
आपने
आनंद।
उगल दिया जहर उगलना है अब सुन लीजिए आप सुन
आनंद।
लीजिए
आप
मारूफ रजा
proof करना चाहते
मारूफ
हो।
रजा
Anand, let me give the brigadier a reality check. The first thing is that it's good to have him back on the debate, but unfortunately not on such a bitter note, because we used to be debating more serious stuff in earlier
been
years.
getting
But let me
calls
give
from-
it back to him as good as he has given it
from
to me.
Republic TV.
First point.
I heard
मेरे
about
सर
the
मेरी बात
Republic
सुनिए
TV.
अभी. In my 58 years in this country, in my sir brigadier Saab, I heard you out. Now hear me. In my 58 years in this country, I have never been discriminated against. How come in 48 hours in India, you ran across a handful of Muslims who were all critical? आप उनको अपने साथ वापस क्यों नहीं ले गए पाकिस्तान? जो गए थे उनका हशर देखा है क्या हुआ है? You have seen what you have made out of those people who went to Pakistan thinking वहां पे जन्नत मिलेगा, और जन्नत के आसपास जो आप लोगों ने जिहादी खड़े किए हैं, जो हमारे यहाँ मरने आते हैं इस उम्मीद में कि उन्हें जन्नत यहाँ मिलेगी, उनका क्या किया आपने? And you, Brigadier Javed, listen to me, sir. I'm giving you respect for your rank. I'm giving you respect for your rank, but you listen to me. Firstly, let me tell you, what was the percentage of Muslims that created Pakistan? Do you know that, Anand? Out of the Muslims that made up the Indian subcontinent, the total number of Muslims that voted for Pakistan were 15% of the total Muslims of the subcontinent.
Yes.
Secondly, the nation states are always kept together on two grounds, either in the hope of economic gain or in the threat of war and aggression. Pakistan keeps its people together under fear of an Indian aggression. Thirdly, none of the provinces that make up Pakistan volunteered to join Pakistan. They were forcibly put into it, and as Mani Shankar Iyer has written in his book, the leaders of Pakistan and the landlords and the generals couldn't hear the mullah's azan without 4 whiskeys inside them. आप लोग अपने आप को मुसलमान बुलाते हैं. Your founder could not say the namaz. वो शराब और हैम सैंडविचेस खाते थे. आपके अंदर, देश के अंदर आपने मुसलमानों का अपना ठेका ले रखा है. बट जिस किस्म से आपने मुसलमानों को बर्बाद किया है, जिस किस्म से मुसलमानों को बदनाम किया है, मुझे शर्म आती है आपको मुसलमान भाई बुलाने के लिए. You are a curse to the Muslims of the world. I respect Group Captain Hilali. Who has made some very sensible remarks. But Brigadier Javed Hussain, you are an embarrassment to Pakistan and to the Muslim community. Let me tell you, Pakistan will continue to have abject hostility against India until their leadership gives them a defined idea of Pakistan. Right now, the idea of Pakistan is one who is not Indian and one who is hostile to India. So, Brigadier Saab, with due respects, cut out your bullshit.
मिर्चें लग गई. Truth always hurts.
Anand, can I come here?
Carry out a reality check.
मिर्चियां तो सर आपने मैं लगा दिया. आप अलग से मिलिए तो फिर बात करेंगे.
Javed Hussain, is that really your
गाँव
weak
माता
defense?
लेके जाओ.
Truth always hurts.
देखो फिर क्या हशर होता है.
देखा, see that's
You'll
the
be
point.
wiped out. You'll be lynched.
That's the point. You
क्या
always
चाहते हो?
want to portray
Let's not
yourself
talk
as
of
the
Hindu
one.
Muslim.
Sir, point
finish
is
the Hindu
the
Muslim
only
thing, talk
person,
here.
the only
सर
person who was eyes on
ब्रिगेडियर
eyes.
आपने सीखा नहीं. फ्रॉम कारगिल टू कश्मीर आप लोगों ने बड़ी कोशिश कर ली ये दिखाने के लिए कि आप एक सुपीरियर फाइटिंग फोर्स है. हर बार आपकी नाक जमीन पे रगड़ती गई, फिर भी आप सीखते नहीं है, क्योंकि इतने बेशरम और जिद्दी लोग दुनिया में नहीं मिलेंगे जितने पाकिस्तानी मुसलमान हैं.
अरे छोड़िए मारूफ साहब, let's not get personal about people.
Don't tell us
we don't want to do what they do.
जिस दिन आएगा
Maruf, please, I request you to exercise some restraint and some control. We don't need to get to what their level is. Sir, simple सी बात है, वर्ल्ड कप का मैच नहीं जीत सके, जंग जीतने चले. छोड़ दीजिए सर, उनको बोलने दीजिए.
Have you
बोलने
forgotten
दीजिए,
the
वर्ल्ड कप का मैच नहीं जीत सके,
Gujarat
क्रिकेट का
massacre?
जंग जीतने चले, नहीं होगा. And the fact is, sir, we are not, we don't want,
United
you
Province,
wanted,
UP
sir,
है तो
simple
वहाँ पर
point, simple
Hindu
point,
Muslim
Brigadier
हो रहा
Javed
है.
Hussain, no point
All
fueling
over
this whole
India
thing,
there
come
is
attack us,
Hindu
come
Muslim
attack us, let's
clashes.
have an all-out war. We don't
Why?
want a war. We don't want a war. Don't try and paint us as the aggressor, we are not. You wanted a separate land
war
for
करनी
Muslims,
है,
you
war
got
अब
it.
करो.
You got it in 47.
Forget about
The Indian Muslims who stay
1971.
back here, who are bigger in
अगर
size than you,
war discuss
that is
करनी है,
Pakistan today, chose
करो
to stay
discuss.
back, and they do so
55,
willingly, sir, because
71.
they know
करो
that they are
discuss.
safer, they are
55.
prosperous, they develop, they grow more here. Sir, every single sect, you tell me, you disprove me, Brigadier Javed Hussain, look at the facts and numbers. Tell me the growth of Ahmadiyas in your country, tell me the growth of Shias in your country, Zararas, Boris, tell me the growth, Ismailis, tell me the growth of these people in your country. And look at what we have got. 9.8% was the total Muslim population in 1947. 14.2% of the total population in 2011. So, every single sect of Muslims have grown in this country, and they will continue to do so, sir, because they believe in the idea of India. They hold on fiercely to the idea of India. They wear their tricolor with pride. They don't shirk about being an Indian. That's the reality, sir, and that's what we're trying to tell you. And we don't want your country, but you dare not look at ours. You dare not covet what belongs to us. That's the message. RSN Singh.
Can I speak? Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make a very, very important point. There was a recent survey. There was a recent.
This is the
There was a recent survey carried out in US. There was a recent survey carried out in
That
US.
is very damaging.
And
very harmful.
40% of Bangladeshis, they said they were Indians. And 25% of Pakistanis, they said that they identified themselves as Indians. Brigadier Saab, जो देश सुइसाइड बॉम्बर तैयार करने लगे, इसका इंडिकेशन क्या है? वो इसका what is it's what is the rationale behind this? The simple thing is that
थोड़ा जोर से बोलो, आवाज नहीं आ रही है तुम्हारी.
नहीं पहले तो आप बोलो बट ठीक है, सुनो तहजीब नहीं भूलते इतना जल्दी.
He can't hear you.
या मैं आपको बता रहा हूं कि जिस मुल्क में यूथ सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स बनने लगे, इसका मतलब यही निकाला जा सकता है कि आपकी धरती, आपका देश नर्क बन चुका है. जिस देश के यूथ को ये कहा जाता है कि तुमको 72 ऊपर भी लेगा, और यहां पर ये सारा ये खाक हो गया है हमारा मुल्क, तो आप समझ सकते हो क्या मैं गलत बोल रहा हूं? आपके यहाँ सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स नहीं तैयार हो रहे हैं? हिंदुस्तान का छोड़ दो, जहां आप भेज रहे हो सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स को, आपके अपने देश में सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स करें. किसी भी एक प्रोग्रेसिव मुल्क में सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स तैयार होंगे? आपको मालूम है ब्रिगेडियर साहब, आज तक कोई शिया सुइसाइड बॉम्बर नहीं बना है. तो कहीं तो आपने धर्म का, यू हैव इंजेक्टेड दैट पॉइजन ऑफ वहाबिज्म and creating suicide bombers, and you expect your country to survive? Go back today and introspect on what I am saying. Maybe you will be able to retrieve your country, but I am not sanguine about it. But try and introspect today. What beyond suicide bombers? This is the simple question that Pakistan needs to answer today. I mean, it is no point debating with me. Even if you can score any points and I can score some points over
you want to respond to Colonel RSN
but
Singh, and
it's a
then I go across to Group Captain Sultan Ali.
very issue.
Colonel, let him respond to this, and Group Captain Sultan Ali has been wanting to make a point for a while, so we'll go across to him also. But Brigadier Javed
You are not giving proportionate time to Pakistani guests.
The question is straight to you.
You are not giving proportionate time to Pakistani guests.
We'll come to you.
Okay,
Mr. Chima, we'll come to you also.
Let's go to Qamar Chima and Sultan Ali.
Okay, because the point was directly to Javed Hussain, and if he wants to respond to it, otherwise we go across to his other countries.
उनको इतनी मिर्चें लग गई, आप वो सिर्फ आग लगाने में लगे. छोड़ दीजिए उनको. थोड़ा सर पानी पी लीजिए. थोड़ा पानी पी लीजिए, उम्र का लिहाज कर रहा हूँ, थोड़ा आराम कीजिए आप. Please collect your thoughts. I'm going to go across to Group Captain Sultan Ali and Qamar Chima. Yes, gentlemen. Sorry. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Zafar Sareshwala and
I can
Maruf come
follow
back.
the anchor. What
Anand, you have been floating a lot of percentages, but I would like to ask you only one question.
Yes.
Would you care to share with our viewers the results of Justice Sachar Committee report about the plight of minorities in India,
Right.
in which he came out very clearly that the Muslims have not been given their true right as far as the jobs, as far as the educational chances
Yes.
are concerned, and
Yes.
so many other things.
So
Would
the
you like to
Sachar
share
Committee
that with
report
us?
is dated
And one point-
2006.
one point- sir,
Let
sir,
me-
sir, one
hang
point.
on.
Hang on,
One second.
point to Arsen saying he talked about suicide bombers.
Right.
Just for the record, the first suicide bomber in the subcontinent was this woman who killed Rajiv Gandhi in India.
Right. There is nothing. That was an act of terrorism. That was an act of terrorism. And I am not putting any religious connotations to that. I'm not putting any religious connotations to that. I don't want to get as far as the Sachar Committee report is concerned.
Isolated incident with a
No, as far as the Sachar Committee report is concerned, sir, there is no. It was about backward classes, not just Muslims. It was the backward castes, and it was a report about the minorities overall, and there was a particular segment on Muslims too. We are not saying that we are a perfect society. We never said that. We are not saying that people are not, there is not a poverty line, there are not people who need upliftment. But we are saying, are we living in an inclusive structure? Are we living at a place where people look at each other not basis on their, and judge them not on the basis of their religion, and say that if you are a Muslim, you are a Pakistani? We don't say that, sir. If you are an Indian, if you are a Hindu, you are an Indian. If you are a Muslim, you are a Pakistani. That's not the language that we speak in our country, sir. If you stand up for your country, you cease to be a Muslim. That's not the language we speak in our country. We don't go ahead and abuse someone who says, "I'm proud that India won at The Hague." We don't do it, sir. That's the point we are discussing today. And if you're talking about relative development, sir, over the last 70 years, you know where India is, you know where Pakistan is. Let's not get into the various committee reports, because I can pull out the facts and figures over in Pakistan, which you're very well aware. Maruf Raza,
about the atrocities on the Hindu minorities in Pakistan, but let's not go down that road, Javed Hussain.
If you go to
Qamar Chima, as I come to you, because Qamar Chima, you were making a point of us not allowing you to speak here. As I come to you, I just have two small questions, if you can shed some light on it. We are given to understand, perhaps you can correct us, the hatred against the Ahmadiyas can be is so strong and significant that Pakistan's envoy to United Nations, Malia Lodhi, had to delete and retract a tweet where she had acknowledged Moonlight's actor Mahershala Ali as the first Muslim actor to have won an Oscar. And I remember when this happened during the Oscar Awards, there was massive outrage. And reports that went globally across the world, it was reported there was outrage in Pakistan that she had acknowledged her as the first Muslim actor to have won an Oscar. Why such intolerance there? Qamar Chima, perhaps you can help us understand. And is that the reason that Dr. Abdul Salam, Pakistan's first and only one of the two Nobel laureates, we are given to understand is not even respected or acknowledged in Pakistan?
You're talking to me?
Yes. You wanted to make a point. I just came to you with a couple of more questions. You can make your point and respond to my questions.
Well, what I think you are talking about intolerance in Pakistan. Well, I cannot justify if one individual person who comes up with any kind of a perspective and we just take this is Pakistan, that is not Pakistan. In this the tweet which you are mentioning, Pakistan asked that you should remove the name Muhammad from it. I think this is not what Pakistan is saying. That could be one public opinion, that could be one personal opinion, and we are living in this internet age. Maybe the tweet is coming from India. Who knows this? So on one particular tweet, you are making the
No, I'm not making it for. That's what I said, Qamar Chima. Qamar Chima, I didn't say it is about one particular tweet, sir. I said this is a sentiment. Look at Group Captain Sultan Ali's justification.
What did you have to say about what Brigadier Javed Hussain just now said?
And Shah Rukh Khan.
So what about Shah Rukh Khan?
Yes, You just look at that. What kind of a treatment Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, they have to come up. Whenever they come up with any kind of a movie, the Indians come up and the RSS and the BJP.
No, sir, they don't have a problem with Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan. They don't have a problem with Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan. They don't have a problem with them, sir, because they are our heroes. We all admire them. We all admire them unequivocally. And you want me to tell you the entire list? बहुत बड़ी लिस्ट है सर, ये लिस्ट कभी खत्म नहीं होगी, ये लिस्ट कभी खत्म नहीं होगी. It starts with APJ Abdul Kalam, there is A.R. Rahman, Rasool Pukuti, Abdul Hamid, Salim Ali, Azim Premji, Mohammad Rafi, Zakir Hussain, Sania Mirza, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, the list is long, Saif Ali Khan, Nawab of Patodi, Mohammad Azharuddin, the list is long, sir. Kamar Chima, wrong parallels. Like I said, you know this debate is about, you know what this debate is about, Kamar Chima, get the context of the debate right. You stop being bothered about our business and Muslims here, sir. The message is very clear. You bother about what you're doing to Islam and Muslims in your country. पहले अपने घर की हालत सुधारिए, फिर पड़ोस में झांकिए. मैं इतना ही बता रहा हूं आपको, पहले अपने घर की हालत ठीक करिए, उसके बाद पड़ोस में झांकिए. आपके जो इस्माइली हैं, आपके इस्माइली हैं, बोरी हैं, अहमदिया हैं, शिया हैं, अलारा है, बहुत सारे हैं सर. उनको पहले पना दीजिए, उनको पहले बढ़ने दीजिए, फिर हमें सीख दीजिए, प्लीज. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Kamar Chima. Maruf Raza, that's the message. Maruf Raza.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to understand, Kamar Chima, since what do you have to say to what Brigadier Javed Hussain just said to Maruf Raza?
Anand, can you let me come in now?
Yes, Zafar, just coming to you. But what do you have to say to that? So don't tell me, Kamar Chima, that it's about one tweet or one person sitting somewhere and commenting, because we've had this very often on our own debates too, where panelists on our debate have been attacked. So please think about it. It's a larger sentiment that we are questioning here. As Anand says, don't focus your attention on Muslims in India. They know very well they love their country and they put their country above religion, as it should be everywhere else.
Is it a Twitter trend in India?
Zafar Sareshwala, please go on.
अरे सर, सिंपल मैसेज कमर चीमा, अपना घर ठीक कीजिए, मुसलमानों की हालत ठीक कीजिए, वहाँ इस्लाम की हालत पाकिस्तान में पहले ठीक कीजिए, उसके बाद हमारे बगल में झांकिएगा. जफर सरेशवाला, that's why we say, sir, they don't need to bother about what we doing, because we are doing a much better job than they are.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I'll tell you, Anand,
yes,
Anand, I want to tell my Pakistani guests, first of all, by choice we are in India. We all are by choice. And hardly anybody went, except people living in the border of Punjab and very few people from UP were crying after 70 years that what mistake we have committed. So by choice we have remained in India. We are much better off. We are much better off as Muslims in India. We know the condition of Muslims in Pakistan. So I would request them to take care of the Muslims you have there, and you take care of Islam. And you're talking of Gujarat. Every single day that amount of Muslims are being killed in Pakistan. Every single day. So do you have a question about that? Every single day this is happening. So I am requesting, don't bother about us. We are in very good position. In fact, I am a chancellor of a university. I want to give one anecdote. Just a couple of months back, your a senior professor of Qaid-e-Azam University, Professor Hoodboy, came, and he was astonished to find so many people with beard and burqa in India. He couldn't find that kind of burqa and bearded people in a university. In fact, after 70 years, you could not do what we have done in India. In our universities, we directly admit the students from madrasas, and we have Maulanas who become engineers. We have Maulanas who become economists. You could not do even after 70 years. So we have our madrasas. In our madrasas, we have virtual classrooms where mathematics, English and sciences are taught. So Indian Muslims are much better off. You could not achieve that in 70 years. So you better take care of those Muslims and the Islam which you have, and the Islam which you used and abused. Use that Islam for good cause of the humanity. That's my request to you people from Pakistan.
Group Captain.
I think this is not the news which you are sharing with us.
Group
It happens.
captain.
India is a country of 1,000 million people. So nothing to talk about it.
No, 1,000
There
million
is a
नहीं है सर,
diversity in
उतने
India
लोग
if
नहीं
you
है
talk
सर,
of that.
उतने लोग नहीं है, बहुत ज़्यादा बोल दिया आपने,
Okay.
बहुत ज़्यादा. Qamar Chima, I was just making light of your comment, but yes, group captain Sultan Ali. Yeah.
Okay, let me say that I must congratulate you if you Indians are having such a khushi time over there. We are very proud that you, at least the Muslim community in India, is safe. But allow me to ask you, what about the cases we hear about Muslims being lynched for keeping cows or slaughtering cows and things like that, because they are highly disturbing? Do they speak of the tolerance or the intolerance of the non-Muslims in India?
Go ahead. I don't want to
And
rebut
one more-
this. Zafar Zaresh wala.
And one-
See,
and
घूम
one
फिर के, they had to pick out 4 cases across the country and create a perception. Like I said, ना, उनको मुद्दा चाहिए डर और हवा फैलाने के लिए. Just to say, अरे एक पहलू खान की मौत हो गई.
Anand,
एक पहलू खान की मौत हो गई.
out of 250 million Muslims in the country, we only have 5 or 7 such cases, and you cannot generalize out of 250 million 4 or 5 cases.
एंड ग्रुप कैप्टन सुल्तान अली, मैं आपको ये बता दूं, हर बार अगर ऐसा कुछ हुआ है, जो कुछ बार हुआ है, इंडिया से ज्यादा कई जगह पे आउटरीच नहीं हुई है. एक्टिविस्ट इन इंडिया, Muslims, Hindus in India, people of every religion, the media, everybody has stood up and outraged over it and fought for justice. And that is how we deal with these aberrations. Now that's the point that we are getting to. When this happens, we come together and say, this is not acceptable in our country, we won't let it happen. Tonight, when we started this debate and we came to you with those comments of people sitting in Pakistan and attacking Indian Muslims or preaching Indian Muslims about religion and about patriotism, all that we were expecting was the same sentiment.
Tell me one
same
second.
sentiment.
Group
That if
captain-
it's wrong, it's wrong. That's that.
Group Captain Sultan Ali, you asked me a question about Gaurakshaks and Muslims who are being beaten up, or one of these stray cases that you talked about. Now, can I ask you a counter, sir? Sir, in 1984, Zia-ul Haq said Ahmadiyas can be sentenced up to 3 years in prison if they refer to themselves as Muslims or call places of worship as mosques. Has that law been abolished? Has that law been abolished, Group Captain Sultani? Sir, 2015, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs in Pakistan, legal cases initiated against Ahmadiyas for merely printing Quranic verses on their wedding cards. Sir, true or false?
Okay, the
Sir,
fact
true.
is
So, no, I'm asking you true or false?
No, it is true.
True
It
or
is
false?
True, but allow me to qualify that.
So,
it is true, but that is not a simple answer by just.
So,
either or,
Ismaili,
response. Allow me to qualify it. Allow me to qualify.
What is the percentage of
Allow me to
Ismailis in your
qualify
country,
it.
sir? What is the percentage of Bori Muslims in your country, sir? What is the percentage of Hararas in your country, sir? What is the percentage of Ahmadiyas in your country? Have they grown or have they declined?
No.
Just like the Hindu population that has come down from 22% to 2%.
So the fact
Sir,
is
which
that
is a bigger number,
Ahmadiyas
Group Captain
have
Sultan
been
Ali?
declared
Which is a bigger number? One Pehlu Khan out of 200 million Muslims, or entire sects facing existential threats? Which is a bigger issue for Islam?
Well, Ahmadiyas are not a sect of Islam. They have been declared outside the fold of Islam.
Who declared that? General Zia-ul Haq decided. Who's General Zia-ul Haq to decide that? Ahmadiyas are Muslims in our country, sir.
President of Pakistan.
Ahmadiyas are Muslims in our country. You are an Islamic Republic of Pakistan. You don't recognize them. So where are Muslims safer, sir?
Look after them.
How many sects of Islam do you have in your country?
Sir, we are all proud to be Pakistanis.
सर अब पाकिस्तान याद आ गया, मारूफ रजा, अब पाकिस्तान याद आ गया. इतनी देर तक हिंदुस्तान के मुसलमान याद आ रहे थे इनको. अब मैंने उनको गिनाया कि हाउ मेनी सेक्ट्स ऑफ इस्लाम आर थ्राइविंग इन योर कंट्री. उनको गिनती नहीं पता है, उनको याद नहीं है सर. 72 के 72 सेक्ट्स आज भी है इंडिया में. One of the only countries in the whole wide world where 72 sects of Islam are there. This is the country where in Thrissur in Kerala, I opened with it 629, Islam stepped its foot and it continues to thrive and grow. This is the country, not the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Maruf Raza.
No,
Final word to you, sir.
Anand, firstly, I must compliment Group Captain Sultan Ali, him and I have been daggers drawn on earlier debates, but today has made some very balanced and proportionate points. But I think you qualified it very well to say that you can't, and even Zafar Saab said the same, and qualify it for all Muslims across India. Let me remind the Pakistanis that I myself get pleasantly surprised when I go to certain cities in India. I mean, Srinagar is the case in point, where you hear so many azans and so frequently that you begin to wonder which part of the world is this, because you don't hear that many azans perhaps even so openly in some of the Middle Eastern cities. And some Pakistanis who strayed across the LOC either with intent or without were quite pleasantly surprised, if I would put it politely, to say कि साहब यहाँ तो इस्लाम खतरे में ही नहीं है. दूसरी चीज मैं बताना चाहता हूँ that you can keep picking up stray incidents to justify to yourself that Pakistan was created with the right purpose because Muslims in India continue to remain threatened. But let me reassure those Pakistani pessimists that in India Muslims are facing extinction, that Muslims are prospering. They are there in every facet of life in India, Bollywood stars being the most prominent. But we've had cricket captains, hockey captains. We've had presidents of India, we've had service chiefs. We've had foreign secretaries, we've had home secretaries. We've had people in every walk of life, including, at one point at least, the richest Indian was a Muslim. So the fact is, nobody stops you from prospering in India if you decide to go and put your neck on the line. But you want to sit in a quiet ghetto and then complain that India is not giving you opportunities, then only God can help you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Winding the debate on that note, we stand with Mohammad Kaif and we stand with every Indian who's proud to be Indian. And those who are having doubts, we'll try and counsel them. If not, well, they can look elsewhere, because this country believes in those who believe in the idea of India. Thank you very much.